What is up, everybody in the YouTube space? So, today we have for your viewing and listening pleasure a 2022 Honda Navi. Now, the Honda Navi is kind of like the Grom's little brother, but not really, and I'll explain. If you look at the Honda Navi, it looks like a motorcycle. But it's not. It is certainly a scooter disguised as a motorcycle. And I think this was genius for Honda to do. Because it tricks people into wanting it. Because I have never in my entire life ever looked at a scooter and said, yeah, I'd ride that. But when someone points out a Navi, yeah, I'll ride that. It looks like a motorcycle. And I am into motorcycles. So, genius marketing on Honda. And the MSRP for a brand new Honda Navi when it came to America was $1,800. To be exact, I think it was like $1,807. But hey, if the $7 break you, I don't know what to tell you. So $1,800 for a brand new motorcycle. Motorcycle is big in air quotes because honestly it's more of a scooter. It first came to America in 2022. The US models, like this one you see before your very eyes, is made in Mexico. So I don't know what that does to the build quality. All the other ones are made in India. As far as I know, anything made in India is very good. I've had an Indian made KTM in the past and it did fairly well. And I'm sure this Mexican-made Navi is no difference. A lot of vehicles are made in Mexico. A lot of Fords, Mustangs in particular. So going down the specs and the features and stuff, this is a 9-gallon fuel tank. And it should get around 110 miles to the gallon. One weird thing about it, though, is it is carbureted. In 2022... these are still carbureted. I think the only other thing other than that that's still carbureted is DRZs, but those will be carbureted until the end of time. So another weird feature is it has a 12-inch front wheel and a 10-inch rear wheel, and it has drum brakes on front and rear. So if you come look at that, you see the drum brake on right here on the front. And the other awkward thing about it is that they're linked. So anytime you grab either the front brake or the rear brake, you're getting a little bit of both. See that? So anytime you grab the front, you're getting a little bit of rear, and anytime you grab the rear, you're getting a little bit of front. It is a 109cc engine that makes around 7 horsepower. Definitely not earth-shattering, but it doesn't do too bad, and we'll see that on the road. Some of the cool features on here are this giant amount of storage that you have under the fuel tank, and this amount of storage is actually bigger than the fuel tank. And this is where an engine normally goes. But on this, the engine's not right there. The engine is back here, like a scooter. So the only modification that has been done to this is it has a lower rear spring on the back to accommodate a buddy of mine's kid who wants to learn how to ride a motorcycle. So he's teaching him on this. Because a weird thing about the Honda Navi is it is actually factory 0.5 inches higher of a seat height than a Honda Grom, which I find is really weird. Maybe they do that so it's more accessible to everybody, because I feel like this is kind of like everybody's motorcycle, man. Like anyone can hop on this, twist throttle, and go. It's super easy, and I'll show you how it works here in just a second. So the Honda Navi also has a CVT transmission, just like a scooter. So you don't have to put it in gear. You don't have to do anything like that. You just literally start it, twist the throttle, and it goes. And we'll show you how that works here in a minute. I find it actually works quite well. Other than having only one speed, kind of limits your top speed. It's fine, you know, doesn't do too bad. I think it actually looks kind of rad lowered 2 inches in the rear. However, it being lowered 2 inches in the rear sucks when you're trying to turn, I can promise you. Because just getting it to this spot where we're at now, you know, just turning on the street, just looking at the turn, I was scraping like mad. All right, so now that we're sitting on the bike, I am 6 foot tall. I am a universally awesome 255 pounds with a 32-inch inseam. And I mean, with it lowered, especially with it lowered 2 inches in the rear, obviously I can flat foot this and have lots of room. So, what we'll do, and it's decently comfortable. The seat's a little hard, but other than that, not bad. So, to turn it on, all you have to do is go from off to on, and there are no lights, no warning indications that it is on. This was actually running a little while ago, so we don't have to put the choke on. But if it was cold, you would have to put the choke on and then start it. But since it's been running, it's a little warm. All you have to do is put it to run, have the kickstand up, put the brake on, and it fires right up. Hear all 7 ponies roar to life like the beast it is. All right, let's go. So, like I said, to do that, there's obviously no clutch, no gears to click it in. You just twist the throttle and go. And we are off on this amazing journey and directly into traffic. So for $1,800, I think this thing is quite a good deal. However, you can't be expecting the world. Shit, we don't even have fuel injection. She's still carbureted, baby. Which doesn't bother me too much. I can mess with a carburetor, you know. I can take a carburetor off, clean it, rebuild it, and put it back on. That doesn't faze me. I'm sure some people who are accustomed to fuel injection can't do that, but maybe that's another good thing this bike is for teaching kids nowadays how to do that stuff. That is certainly becoming a lost art. And now we're sitting at the longest stop sign ever. All right, there's full throttle. Pulling out onto a main road. Honestly, this isn't as slow as I expected. Compared to a Grom or my Z125, it's not nearly as slow as I expected. I expected it to be painful in acceleration and top speed, and I'm only seeing it kind of suffering in the top speed department. Acceleration's honestly not that bad. Now, other than the seat being quite hard, I'm in a pretty comfortable seating position. Like, my feet are in a very comfortable spot. The seat's not that bad, and my hands are in a very comfortable spot. I obviously wouldn't want to ride this for multiple hours, but I could definitely see this being a commuting motorcycle, especially if you, a college kid or even a high school kid, if you were to get his license and live not far from school. This would be cool for that. You just don't have to tell anybody it's actually a scooter. That can be our little secret. Wink, wink. Make this right turn, go to our curvy section. We all know I like the curvy sections. Come on. The mirrors I am finding are quite a bit better than on the Z125, at least. I'm not sure about the Grom. Hopefully I'll be able to test one of those out pretty soon. And just like that, we're off. And as usual, we're full throttle. going after it, just chilling. God, I am terrible about turning my turn signals off. What is you doing, BB? And I have a feeling that in this curvy section here, we are going to be scraping quite a bit. So those front brakes, like, I don't know if you can tell, but when I have to, like, really kind of get on them, watch. See if you can see it jerk. It's, like, very, very jumpy. Oop, yep, there you go. Scrapage already. All right, cool. All right, full throttle into the curvy section. Pay your respects. Dominus Ominous and all that junk. Let's go. Like, as you can see, it's clearly not fast. I think we're probably going to scrape coming into this corner. No, we actually didn't. That's quite good. I'm impressed. We probably will here. Oh, no, we didn't there either. Fantastic. I bet it is just hilarious seeing me on this tiny little motorcycle. I literally weigh more than this motorcycle. It weighs, I want to say it's like 238 wet and ready to ride, and me wet and ready to ride is 255, so like seeing something bigger on a motorcycle, riding a motorcycle, I'm sure is quite entertaining. It definitely doesn't sound too great when it's trying to push a fat guy up a hill. It's it is not good. Alright, so normally this trip is a whole lot longer, but I don't want to take this on any 55 mile an hour speed limits, and that is normally one of the routes I take. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to this roundabout, I'm just going to turn around and go back to where the hell I came. I think we can fit everything that we need to say about this tiny little Honda Navi in that time frame. So anyway, who do I think this bike is for? I think this bike is for anyone who barely even knows how to ride a bicycle and still wants to learn how to ride a motorcycle, because it's ridiculously easy. You get on this and you twist the throttle and you go. You know, I think the other way it could go is it could be for somebody who for somebody who likes scooters and likes how scooters work, but wants something that looks like a motorcycle, so maybe they don't get looked at so funny all the time. Because that's what this is. It is a scooter that looks like a motorcycle. But that makes it kind of cool. Because, like, scooters are fun. Scooters are fun to ride. But, like, no one wants to be seen on, like, an open cockpit scooter, like, riding down the street because you look like a goon. No one wants to look like a goon. You definitely don't want to be looking like a goober. And I feel like you look less like a goober on a Honda Navi. So let's see what the top speed is. We're about to go downhill, so this will give us a good measure of what top speed could possibly be. Ooh. I'm not getting much over 52. I'm saying top speed is 52. That's going downhill though. I would say you'd be pushing trying to get to 50 any other way. So would I recommend anyone buy this bike? For $1,800, why the hell not? I think that's a smoking deal for a bike that you can just get on and roll with. Especially if you're learning how to ride. Like I said, my buddy lowered this bike so he could teach his son, his very young son, I think he's like 12, how to ride a motorcycle, which is awesome. That's great. We need more of that in the world today. So absolutely, I would suggest buying this motorcycle under those circumstances. Otherwise, you know, I definitely would never say that this is a replacement for a Grom or a Kawasaki Z125 or something similar to that. It's not a replacement of that by any means. Those bikes have clutches, gears, they are straight up motorcycles. This is a scooter, so they're in two completely different categories. I definitely wouldn't say don't get a Grom and get this. There are two different uses. Get a Grom if you want to do Grom things. Get a Navi if you just need to get around town or if you're learning. But for right now, what we'll do is we will do our ranking system. The ranking system that we just came up with a little while ago. And that is aesthetic. How I rank this bike aesthetically. I think it's pretty decent looking. It's definitely better looking than a scooter. So we'll go with a 5. We'll go with a 5.5. We'll go with 5.5. All right. How about fun factor? I mean, fun as in you just hop on it and go, and you're still in the open air, and you're still technically on a motorcycle. You know, 4. I'd give it a 4. Like, once you get used to it, it's not going to be fun anymore. It's just going to be like, yep, getting on my motorcycle now, because it's a scooter. It doesn't go very fast. It doesn't do very many things. Versatility, with that daggone storage down there, it has all the versatility in the world. But that obviously that rolls into practicality. So, I mean, it is quite practical. You can fit a bunch of sandwiches in there. I can fit an entire lunch, maybe even an entire dinner in there. That's very practical if you ask me. I'm going to give it a 7 in practicality. We'll go with versatility. Versatility, yeah, not very much, man. I'm giving it a 3. You know, for commuting and learning, and that's about all it's good for. And my overall rank, how I would rank it, you know, it's fun, it's cool, but I feel like I'd be doing everybody a disservice if I said anything over than like a 4.5. So we'll go with a 4.5 for my overall score of the Honda Navi. I have a hard time finding the pegs coming off of a stoplight or a stop sign. I always think they're way back here, but they're way up here. I can tell you're not outrunning anyone on this, that is for sure. However, putting your buddy on the back and driving a whole bunch of miles in the cold, like Dumb and Dumber, sounds fun. It's so warm. Just imagine, only $1,800 for this hog.